Hey guys, I'm Ellie and welcome back to my channel. Today I just wanted to do a simple video of a simple explanation of what TMS is and how it affects everyone to some degree in their lifetime. Mainly because a lot of people overcomplicate it and it can actually be really hard to get your head around. But I just wanted to do a quick video on how it came about and what it means, and it's still got, to be fair, it's still got a long way to come in society. But yeah, I'm just going to jump right to it. So it goes back to the work of Dr. John Sarno, who figured out that certain pains and conditions were being caused by the brain to distract us from unprocessed or repressed emotions such as anger, rage, fear, guilt, shame, grief, and I think there's a few more actually, and unconscious thoughts, which he then did later determine that was the case. When these emotions were eventually processed, the pains and symptoms went away. And he called this TMS, which stands for Tension Myositis Syndrome, which some people call the mind-body syndrome, or too much stress, or too much shit, or I personally like the mind-body symptom or the mind-body syndrome, just because it just, like, the brain to the body just makes more of a connection, right? It just makes sense. But yeah. So despite receiving a lot of hate over the years, in the medical field from other professionals, there have been, in the development of years, that of like other people who experience these symptoms themselves, TMS symptoms, either doctors or professionals or general other people who've experienced them. They've expanded on from Dr. John Sarno's work and found out that actually it's not just pain or a few other conditions which John Sarno found out. There's so many more other symptoms and conditions out there. You can tell a lot of people do experience them in society, and then some are quite unknown, or but I want to do another video on all the symptoms and conditions so far that are out there, because you will actually be quite surprised at how many there are and actually how it affects so many people on so many different levels. Yeah, pretty much, like, most people in their lifetime will experience a mind-body symptom. And again, I think because they can be really mild symptoms, and not many people may not notice them, and it can be a bit of a build-up, or sometimes actually it can be the complete other end of the scale where it's like absolutely life debilitating. You can be housebound. They're just awful symptoms, incredibly disabling. Yeah, I really want to do another in-depth video on that because they're just so crazy. But yeah, so the symptoms are being caused by the brain and on other systems due to not just unprocessed emotions, but also being caused by traumatic events, especially in childhood, and actually other stressful events also later on in adulthood, not just childhood. They can happen at all ages in life. But also personality and behavioural patterns, such as being a people pleaser, having high achieving tendencies, perfectionism traits, helper patterns, controller patterns, being self-critical of oneself. Yeah, and also adding actually to the cause can also be infections and illness and other things like surgeries, dental work, labour, childbirth, which are usually actually for people the cherries on top, which overwhelm our systems. Clearly the sun is getting to my head today. They usually, I think it's best to think of it as like a bucket, and every little stressful event gets put in over the years, and then usually gets to the top, it overflows, and that's what's causing the chronic symptoms. But luckily, due to neuroplasticity, which means our brains are being plastic, we can rewire our neurons and turn them on and off, meaning that our symptoms can go away, no matter how horrendously debilitating they are and crazy and awful and everything. But yeah, these symptoms can be unlearned, new neural pathways can be rewired. And before anyone says it's psychological or it's all in your head, as many people have been told by others or medical professionals, I mean, I certainly have, and I know so many people who've been told that. Yet they can't actually give anything. They don't even help that. So yeah. So and it's actually neurobiological. Meaning actually there's no really structural damage, although sometimes it can obviously affect like your immune system and your endocrine system and every system in your body. But yeah, I will do another video on that to explain that a bit more. But yeah, you've got to remember that the body wants to heal. You just have to give it the right environment, and it needs to be in the right state as well. The body always wants to heal. Like if you have a cut, automatically, like you have a cut on your arm, saying it does want to heal, it starts to heal. You just got to give your whole system the right environment to do this. But yeah, and I think the most interesting part actually about TMS is that everyone and anyone can experience a mind-body symptom to some degree in their lifetime. Like if you think about it, quite well-known ones are like the stress of exams, or yeah, I think a lot of people, I think it's known, isn't it, that students taking GCSEs or A levels can get a bit of like IBS, or like a funny stomach basically, or a stressful day at work and trigger a headache, or the anticipation and anxiety of and like nausea sensations of going on a roller coaster. That can that's all mind body, the connection there. But yeah, you've got to remember your body is always working for you. It's not trying to work against you, it's trying to protect you. And this is something actually in society that isn't understood yet, especially in the medical field. It's one of those things that take years and years to get passed down until it reaches GP level. But it's getting there, and it will get the recognition it deserves. But this like level and this knowledge of understanding and acceptance is changing lives. And I'm super proud of every person that comes to learn, accept, and be open to this way of health and healing, because not everyone is, and we've all grown up thinking that if there's something wrong with us, we go to the doctors, and the doctors will give us a treatment or a surgery or a pill for it. And you know, with a mind-body symptom, it doesn't work for it. It may hide it, or something hide the symptom or whatever, but the symptom will move somewhere else. It's really, really complicated and how it works, and it's very, very clever how the brain works to do this. But yeah, I just wanted to give that like a little explanation, and I hope it was simple enough. If anyone has any questions, I'm more than happy to answer them in the comments, if that makes more sense. But yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up now, guys. So I'll see you soon, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.